Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Hey Brother podcast. In fact, this one is a special one because it's a season finale, and I've got a big announcement at the end of this episode that I don't want you to miss. So hang in till the end. It's going to be just a short episode where I have time to recap what we've done in these first 50 episodes, where we hope to go, and just to invite you guys into that. In fact, like any man listening to this episode right now, I want you to drop in the comments what's been your favorite thing about the Hey Brother podcast so far. Was it a particular episode? Was it a particular point that's been made? Has it been the whole of it, like just sharing brotherhood together? What's been your favorite part of the Hey Brother podcast to this point? And yeah, I really just encourage you to drop that in the comments below. So, this is a season finale. Some of you might be wondering, what the heck? I didn't even know there was seasons of the Hey Brother podcast. Well, I didn't know that there was going to be seasons either. But anything, like me and Mitch talked about this in an earlier episode, but anything in life, there's these seasons that come and go. And as me and Mitch were talking and praying and discerning, what's the best path forward for the Hey Brother podcast, we're I think it's appropriate to take time to slow it down and to really discern, hey, God, where are you taking this thing? Because ultimately that's in his hands. If he wants this podcast to see success, great. If he wants it just to be a platform for me and Mitch to have awesome conversations with each other, and let us grow as men, and that be it, great. If it's just for a small group of men, the guys who have been listening to this, which we're super grateful that you've been tuning into the Hey Brother podcast faithfully, great. Wherever God wants to take this, let's go. But I want to take time to really pause and discern well, where do you want this podcast to go, Lord? And there's also a few other factors into it too. Mitch just had another kid, so we've been trying to get episodes out between me and him, but that's been difficult to find recording time. And so slowing down a little bit and revising, how do me and him want to better schedule our time together, so that way we are on the podcast more often, and it's not just me or just me and guests, but we actually capture that brother essence, like me and Mitch being biological brothers, and share that with you guys, because that's one of the great impetus of this podcast, is that me and Mitch just are really thankful to the Lord for our brotherhood and want to invite guys into that in small ways through this podcast. And I think we've been able to do that, just kind of recapping, we put a ton of content out there in the past 6 months or so, since we started this endeavor. This is technically maybe episode 51, some episodes shorter, some episodes longer, but we've had a lot of great guests on, and taking time to pause gives folks time to catch up and just to go back and listen to some of those really awesome episodes. I know one of the early ones, the audio quality wasn't great on it, but it was John King, and he, great friend of Mitch and I's here in the Dayton area, and he opens up and shares in such a vulnerable way. And and I'm gonna be putting out content in this time of break. It's not gonna be anything super new or exciting. It's gonna be a lot of just kind of capturing what were some highlights from the Hey Brother podcast over the past 6 months, and share that with you. And again, I would invite you to do the same. What were some of your favorite parts? Me and Mitch really enjoyed that conversation with John, but those are just our thoughts. And there's so many other ones, random people that I never thought I would interview, never knew, but then I ended up interviewing for the Hey Brother podcast, coming on and having some really great conversations. One of the recent ones was with Martin Watchin, and just still sitting with a piece of knowledge from that episode that is striking me to still today, of our roles as husbands and fathers isn't to provide, but it's to protect and steward. And I can sit with that nugget and pray with it time and time again. So I know this podcast has been such a tremendous blessing to me over the last, however months we've been doing this, in the last 50 episodes. And I want to keep that going. And I wanted to steer that in the right direction. And that's why we're taking this intentional time to slow it down, have this season finale to celebrate with you guys, who are every man who's listening to this right now, just to celebrate with you the first stretch of what me and Mitch hope to be a long endeavor of making this podcast possible and inviting brothers into brotherhood, deeper relationship, and becoming better men. And so, take me up on that comment to ask, right? Like, share with me what's been impactful things in your lives, and we would love to hear from you. Me and Mitch absolutely love it. We've gotten some emails. Still haven't got the first hate mail. I don't know if that's some comments on YouTube have been a little spicy, but it's all been good. I love it. Send us all your feedback, positive, negative, in between, either commenting or sending over at nick@crafterformore.com, my email. And where we hope to go is to refine. Like, we've learned a lot in this first stretch of the podcast, like a lot. Like from anywhere from audio quality to format quality to me and Mitch like learning what it's like to have our conversations recorded. And we're going to take a lot of what we learned and move into a second season that we want to produce a higher quality. I've got hopes to like maybe create a little bit of a studio. Don't got much space here, but it would be fun to have something that's a little more studio-like than just my living room. So we'll see what happens there. I got plans for that. And then, we might upgrade some equipment too. There's a generous donation that we received from an anonymous brother who's been listening, which we're super grateful for. And a shout out to that man if he's catching this episode. But use some of that money to upgrade our equipment and just continue to improve 1% each time. And like what I love about that mentality is that it's like a modeling of what I hope guys can take from this podcast. A modeling in which you can learn to grow 1% at a time, like continue to pursue ongoing conversion 1% at a time. Deeper brotherhood 1% at a time. If you still haven't got that beer with a brother in real life, let this break in the podcast be a moment for you to go and get a beer with a brother and see how that transforms your life. Just sharing brotherhood, just talking about life, like allowing your interior experience to be shared with another man is huge. And it doesn't have to be anything like super profound or like over the top, but just allowing that muscle of vulnerability to be exercised and to be able to share just a little bit deeper each time, 1% growth each time. And we're modeling that here on this podcast, and that's what we want to instill in every guy who's listening to this. So comment below, join Men Striving for More. You guys can click on that and join the brotherhood there if you want to stay connected during this break. I'll be active in that Discord server still. A lot of great men there, and there'll be a link in the description below for that. And then also follow. You can follow us on YouTube. There'll be some repurposed content coming out, some highlights. I'll have maybe a couple teaching videos in there just from my experience as a mentor, but not like official episodes. And then also you can follow me on Facebook. I post a lot of Hey Brother stuff on there and content for men. Along with what I do for Crafter for More, my mentorship practice that serves men, that helps men become who God's created them to be, striving for greater freedom, greater virtue. And then also you could follow me. I've got Instagram and LinkedIn as well, where a lot of that content's coming out. And so I'll post those links below where you can continue to follow along. The big announcement is that we're going to come back not too long from now. We're going to come back in July. July 6th is our launch for season 2. Launch date, season 2, July 6th, which is the Feast of Maria Gretti. So just a month from now, just a short break to really discern and to give you guys like the best we can. Again, like balancing that. We know there's a lot of room for growth, but we don't want to try to move too fast and just keep inching 1% better each time. And even like the slowing down life, it's like it might be one of the first topics me and Mitch tackle in season 2 about like what does it mean to slow down? What does it mean to really honor the slower moments of life, the busier moments of life? And there's just different seasons we go through, and that's what we're experiencing even here now with the Hey Brother podcast. And as always, we invite you into that experience of brotherhood that me and Mitch have. And just let us know what you think. Love hearing from you guys. And thank you so much for listening to season 1. Go back and listen to your favorite episodes. And stay tuned, because season 2 is coming right around the corner. It'll be here sooner than either you or I expect it. And again, thank you so much for listening. If you want to learn more about what I do as a mentor, go to craftitformore.com. That's where you can learn more about how I help men become who God's created them to be. And stay tuned, stay connected, and we'll catch you guys soon. God bless.